Well, good day everyone. Hope you're well, and thanks for tuning in. I had a question in relation to how I've done these, if you like, this capping around on the window trims, and so I thought I'd take a few minutes to show you that in this little, somewhat of a tutorial. So how about I'll give you a bit of an overview as to how I've done this. I don't want to make this a full Fusion 360 tutorial because there's plenty of uh, tutorials on YouTube for this, but let me just give you some tips as to what I did and how I went about actually creating this. So I think firstly what we'll do is let's just strip off all the other bits of the model, and I'll come back to you in a moment once I've stripped this all down. And literally what we'll do is, well, you can see that's the completed side there. We'll work on this side over here. So let me just strip everything off. I'll come back to you in a moment, and we'll go from there. Okay, here we are here now, with everything stripped off, and I've just got the two MDF sandwiches panels, if you like, which would straddle the timber frame, and we need to create a capping material, or a cap, if you like, that follows that profile all the way around. So part two of this is to now, if you like, draw a section of what that capping is going to look like. You can be as creative as you like with this, but let's just have a look at that now. So to do that, I need to basically create a sketch plane, and I like to create a sketch plane that kind of, if I was to take a right view, kind of cuts that through there because it's on the horizontal. So it doesn't really matter where it is, as long as it's on the horizontal, either there, through there. This is how I did it anyway. So we'll scroll ourselves back, and the way that I'll create a sketch plane through there is I'll take an offset from this back one, from here or here, it doesn't really matter, but I'll take an offset plane all the way through, and you'll see what that looks like. So let's do that now. So I'm going to construct an offset plane. I'm going to pick the plane I want to offset, which is this one, and I'm going to offset it in that direction. And it doesn't really, you can see where it's kind of intersecting there. Doesn't really matter where it is, as long as it's somewhere in the middle there or wherever, and we'll OK that. And there it is there. That's the plane. Now that is the plane we're going to create our sketch from. So now we go up to here, we're going to create a sketch, we're going to pick that plane, and it's now orientated it around. Now it looks a bit confusing because it's literally just taken that, but one of the benefits of Fusion is you can actually slice through exactly where we were. If you see this on the sketch palette, see slice, click that. Now you can see the section. It's taken a sectional view through that there where we just sliced, and we want to create our cap on this bottom piece. So let's zoom in on this now, and let's start sketching. You can be pretty crude with the sketch. You don't have to be dimensionally correct because you're going to do that next. Let's just knock up a very rough little sketch here, and we'll just go up, across, down. You can be, this is all Fusion stuff if you like. You can be as creative as you want. I'm just going to do that. Okay, you get the idea. Now that's the rough shape, but now we need to make that look dimensionally correct. So we've done our rough shape. Let's give this some dimensions. So firstly, let's get a dimensions to make sure that this inside edge of this thing is sitting off of the bottom. You want to, from memory I had this at about a 0.5 millimeter clearance here, 0.5 millimeter clearance here, and a 0.5 millimeter here. Play with that yourself, but that's what worked for me from memory. So I'm going to make sure that I've got between there and there is 0.5. which is what it is. It does that automatic zoom, so just zoom back in again, okay? And do the same thing over here. I want to go from here to here, and that needs to be 0.5, okay? And then I also want to make sure from here to here is 0.5. So from here to here is also 0.5. And you can see that's done that bit, so that's beautiful. Now we want to give this some thickness, So let's make this, we'll go 3mm thick. So here we want that to be 3mm. Do the same over here, make that 3mm, and we want this also to be 3mm. So we go from here to here, that 3mm. Okay, and there's a 3mm thick cap. Now, what distance does that want to look like? But again, this is up to you to look at it yourself in terms of your own profile. But for the sake of this exercise, let's have a look at what that looks like. It's currently 15.4. I'll make it 15. Enter that there, and we'll do the same thing over here just to make sure that is exactly 15, and it is. So now that's it. So there's our sketch done. So now we need to look at moving on to the next part, which is to profile that so it actually follows the inside profile, if you like, of our cutout. So let's go there now, and I'll show you how to do that. Fusion 360, when you get the hang of it, is a really powerful program. I'm no way, shape an expert here, but once you get into it, it is really, really good. So, and here's an example of why. So, what I want to do now is automatically, I want to get that shape traced around the inside of this, and so I already know this is the profile I want. I want this line all the way around here. But watch what we can do here. So now that we've done that together, all we need to do is highlight our sketch. So by basically hovering your cursor inside of it, you can see that. We click that with the left button. We come up to create, and we're going to go and see the sweep. And what we're going to do is we're going to select a path here. That path is going to be the outside line. See that there? And as soon as I do that, and we make sure before we do that we create a new body, which is what that is, okay? And it's going to be perpendicular. Let's leave that where it is. Go to here, click that, and then OK, bang. Done. It's as simple as that. There it is, done. Well, we say that, but there is, now that we've got that, and by the way, bear with me, this is a different material here. Obviously you can change that material, but just to show indicatively what that's going to look like. But now you've got it. So that's your capping done. And if I was to go and create a new sketch, you would see even at the top there, that should be that dimension in. So let's have a look at that. Let me just create a new offset plane just to see what that's going to look like. I'll come in from here, and I'll come across, let's go over to the edge towards that edge over there, and we'll OK that. And I'll just create a new sketch here just for the sake of this exercise. I'm going to come in on that, and now I'm going to just hit slice, and there you see it. There it is. See? That's the cap at the top. As you can see, it's got 1/2 mil there, and it's got 1/2 mil here, and no different at the bottom. So it's worked out perfectly. Okay? And we can delete that sketch. We don't need that one. So now we've got our profiled capping done. And you can pick whichever profile you like. You don't necessarily have to do a basic profile like that. If we go back to our original sketch that we had and edit that again, like you could have this be a fancy little insert shape up here or whatever you like. You can do whatever you like with that, but I just made it a straightforward, basically a straightforward cap. But it lacks a bit of detail, and before we move to the last bit, which is cutting all this up, we probably need to give this a bit of finessing, because it's got sharp corners at the moment. It's a purely sharp cornered piece. As you can see, these are all sharp edges. So let's get some filleting into this and do that now. Okay, just before we start the filleting, I thought I'd just change the colour of that, the appearance colour of that, just so it makes it look a little bit more presentable, just so you can see what's going to happen here on the filleting side of it. So I've just changed the appearance colour of that in Fusion, which was fairly straightforward. So let's now go and just dress these up now to make them nicely profiled in. So the first thing we're going to do is create a fillet on each of these two top edges here. Simply go up to your modify tool, fillet, and pick that edge there. And as you can drag that arrow in, you can see what's happening visually to the model. And it's up to you how big you want that to be. You know, I'll go for a 2mm fillet on that one there. Okay, and you can do whatever fillet size you like. Do the same thing on the other one. Take that edge there and we'll make that a 2mm fillet. Okay, so that's the two edges there which you can see. And let's do another one on the bottom here as well and do that as a 2mm fillet and just round the edge up from the bottom. Okay, so 3 fillets now been created. So we've now got some roundness to this. I'll just check that to see if it does look like that. So again, I wouldn't mind just doing a section profile through here. I should be able to do that by picking up the previous sketch. And as you can see, what it's done is it seems to have picked up this, but I don't think it's picked up the rest of it. So let's just see what's happened here. Make sure that we've got everything, and I'm not sure we have. So it looks as though we may not have all of it. Let's just check to see if we have. You've got to do some checking on this. I'm not sure we've got that, so let's just make sure we fillet that all as well. Make sure we've got 2mm there. Now we've got that, and we've certainly got that one because I can see it going all the way around. Yep, and make sure we've got a 2mm fillet on the top here. Fillet that one. I think we've got that. Yep, I think we've got it. So I'm pretty sure that's it. That looks like that's filleted all around there. So I think we've got that one. Okay, so we've done our filleting. Now we need to be able to do some slicing of this thing so that we can cut this thing up into pieces, which is the next phase, is to cut this into logical pieces that you'll be able to print on your printer and then join them in together. So let's go to the final path of this, which is to now slice this thing up into usable sections and go from there. Let's go there now. Okay, splitting this body up, effectively this is one body at the moment, so obviously we need to get this into parts that we can print from. So again, that's up to yourself how you want to do that, but the way that I did it is I did each, corner area as individual pieces, and then just broke these pieces up as you need them. So to do that, the way I've done it is I need to split this, and that's that split function there, split body. So to do that, what I have done is I've created new sketch planes and used those sketch planes to split the body. So let me show you what I mean, and I'll focus in on the corners first because that's what I want to do. So I'm going to create a few sketch planes here, and we'll go from there. That's our capping sketch plane. So I'm going to create a few more offset sketch planes and we'll split this body up. So let's go to the first one and construct an offset plane from here, and we'll come in and we'll probably place this. I want to do it on the corner, so I don't want it to be on the bevel. I want it to come out a bit, so it's actually on the straight. So I'll do it about there, and that'll be the same as up there, so that's fine. So I can rotate that one. So that one will be fine for that vertical cut. And we'll OK that. And then I'll do another one which will be on the other side. So construct another offset plane. Can probably come from this one actually, and we'll go over there. And let's just go to the right hand side now, and I'll pick another one, which can be, I've just got to be mindful about that top bit there, because if I come into here that's going to intersect that, I also want to keep them the same. So I'll do one about here, which roughly looks about right. Okay, that one. So that's the two verticals done, but now I need to go this way so I can cut this side of the corner. So again, same philosophy, just take it from this plane though. So construct an offset plane, come down from here, come down this way, and let me just get that dimension like that. And so we'll just take that down. See how we're going to go past the curve? So come past the curve, about there will do. Okay, that one. And we need to do one more down the bottom here. So we'll go and construct another offset plane. We'll take that one there, and we'll come down again, and we'll come above the curve. Doesn't have to be too scientific with it, and that looks like that fits there. See how it's picking this curve up? So I need to go up a bit because it's still on the curvature there. So I'm going to pick that one up a bit there, and make sure that I'm not on the straight, which I'm not. I can probably come down a fraction, probably to there. That's pretty close. Okay, and okay that. So now you can, it's very hard to see, sorry I've got this on the yellow, but you can see I've got a sketch, you can see how I've got a cut line there, and a cut line there, and a cut line there, and a cut line there. I could probably do another cut line on this one if I wanted to, and I might just have a look at that in a moment. So now that I've got those cut lines in, we're going to start to slice this thing up and split the body. Okay, so we're going to split this up into bits. What I want to do is I want to isolate the corners from the straights. Okay, so let's do that now. Okay, let's start splitting this body up into its pieces. So I think we could probably just hide this MDF for this, so we don't need to see this. So let's just find where the MDF is, and let's just hide this. So I think it's in here by the look of it. Looks like it's there. Cladding window, there it is there. So we'll just turn that one off and turn that one off. Okay, so now we've got that, and we've got our sketch cut points there. You can see the beautiful piece of single capping. So let's split this up now. So split the body. We're going to take that, we're going to pick the body, and at the moment it's obviously in just one body, as you can see. We're going to take that, and where do we want to split it? The splitting tools. We'll go through the horizontal ones first. So we'll split it there and there, and just okay that. Now if you have a look over here, and if you highlight it, it's cut it. See what we've got? Body number 4 is now this bottom piece, one piece. Body number 5 is the top piece. Body number 6 is the side and the side, because we've actually just taken a slice through there and through there. But what we do need to do now is we need this, this is still, that's not too bad, and but that is one piece. So we need to do our vertical cuts. So let's do the same exercise, but this time doing the vertical cuts. Okay, so again, let's go to split body and see if we can do the vertical cuts. Pick our body, which is there, and pick our cutting tool, and that doesn't seem to work. So we may be able to cut the bottom one, but for some reason we may need to do another sketch plane for the top one. But let's just see how we go. So let's try the bottom one first, because that seems to go through there. So we'll see if that works. Split that. So we're going to slice that, pick our splitting tool, which is going to be here and here, and okay. Now that should have done that. There it is there. We've got the straight bit, we've got that corner, and I think we've also got, we don't have that corner over there. We do. There it is there. Okay. That's okay. That's good. Now we've still got though, we've got that top bit there. Let's see if we can't split that up the top. Just try that again. And we'll go back to our split body. That's the body that we wanted. And let's pick our splitting tools. It's here. Oh, it does work. Sorry, I must have been the wrong one before. And there. And see, it hasn't worked. So this, oh no, we've got to split. We've got to pick the body. And we're going to split that. There we go. That's better. Okay. Now it's done it. Now if you have a look at all the bodies coming up. So body number 4, you can see it's got that corner there. Body number 5's got that corner there. 6 is a straight. 7 is a straight. 8 is a straight. 9 is a corner. 10 is the straight. And 11 is that corner. So we've got the whole thing now split around. But that's not quite, still not quite finished, because I think what we can do is actually now probably, oh well, I guess practically, you know, these are perfect. This is a perfect fit, and we know full well that that won't be a perfect fit when you go to fit this thing up. You really need to introduce some gaps between each of these, and I would work on, you know, at least probably, given that you've got your tolerances in your 3D printer, I'd probably work on say 1/2 mil gaps between each of those pieces to make sure it fits. And that's just a simple case of taking the piece and extruding it back a little bit, you know, a press pull back by 1/2 mil, and see what that looks like. So let's go and try that now. Okay, so to do those pieces where you want to come back, it really doesn't matter where you start, but I typically would just focus on the straight pieces and pull those back rather than working on the corner pieces. But you can do the corner pieces, just that if you kept the profile going, just leave it where it is. So I'd just focus on the straight pieces. So to do that, really what I want to do is highlight one, and I just want to turn this one off just temporarily, just to highlight that. And you can see now I've got this face exposed, which is beautiful, and it's a straight piece. So all I need to do is scroll into here, click on that edge there, right click, press pull, and bring it back minus 0.5. Okay, and do the same thing with that one. Highlight it, right click, press pull, and bring it down minus 0.5. And then OK that. Now if you turn back on that body, you will see that you've now introduced a small little gap there. You see that? You've got that very small gap. Now you might try 0.25, and I can't remember exactly what mine was, but it is useful to have a gap there. So you need to take that, do that process, and follow that all the way around all of them. Okay? So do the same thing around all of them. And the way that you'll do it, I'll show you once again. And we'll take this one over here. If we hover over it, we know that that is body number 4. So let's turn off body number 4, visible there. Okay, and all we need to do now is come into the straight piece here, and we're going to press pull that back. We could probably turn this off, and we'll save that there, and we're going to press pull it back. So we'll highlight the face, right click, press pull, come back that way, minus 0.5. Okay, and then do the same on this one up here. Scroll that up like that, and then take that face and then press pull, and you want to come up, you want to move away from yourself, minus 0.5. The minus being it's cutting back into itself, and OK that. Now if we go back over to where the bodies were, highlight body number 4, and turn it back on, you can see that now has a 1/2 mil clearance. Okay, so that's how you'll do that. So do that for all of them. I'll do that now, and then I'll come back to you and we'll finish off just how it looks. Okay, so I've now created those little gaps, if you like, at each of the corner points, as you can see there on the left there, and as you can see all the way around. Okay, so now we've got that there. So from a 3D printing point of view, these would now, you could basically take those as full bodies. There's body number 11. Let me just take some orbiting on that just to show you. Right, number 11, which is on my number 11, yours could be anyone else. Number 9, and so on. So they will all work. But the bits that still, I think, require a bit more work, we still haven't. We could still further split these long straights, because at the moment that's going to be way too big as a single piece. So you need to split that up as well. Okay, so you basically will do that the same way as you've done the other one, and it's entirely up to you depending on how long your bed is. And how you want to actually slice that. So I'm not going to go into each and every one of these, but let's just have a look now. So my longest one, which looks like it's probably this one here, let's just see how long that is from dimension to dimension. I'll turn these other two off just so we get what that looks like. Okay, and you can see from here to here. So this end to end is, you know, that is 502 millimeters long, okay, and that is way too long. So I need to split that down. So again, now that you've got that like that, I can create new split points and split that body down that. So, you know, to do that, I can literally split that body, and we'll do that, you know, and we do that by basically creating our offset planes. Once again, just cutting through that. So again, you will pick yourself how many planes that you want to put through that. But let's just say I want to make this into 3 pieces, or albeit close enough. What did I have? I had 502. So we'll take, you know, we'll do 2 at say 150, and the last one, so that's 300. So 3 at 150, and then maybe 1 at 60. But you can do whatever you like. So I'm going to construct an offset plane through here. I'm going to come in that way, and I'm going to go in at say 150. Whoops, minus 150. My mistake, other way. And okay that. And now I can split that one up. Same thing again. You go into your split body. You're going to take the body, and you're going to take your splitting tool, which is the plane you just created, and you're going to hit that, and you're going to go OK. And then you can hide that plane using show hide. And now you've got split there and there. Okay. Number 10 is that one. Number 12 is that one. But remember, that is joined. So one of these should coming back 0.5 millimeter to give you that 0.5 mil clearance. So if I turn off this one, and then I take this one, and I take that, and I press pull, bring it back minus 0.5. Okay, turn it back on again. And now you've got that little bit of clearance between the two. And you can see we've created a more manageable piece. So you really need to do that, working your way around the entire capping frame. And once you've done that, you'll end up with a whole series of sections separated by circa 0.5 millimeter, if that's what you want as your clearance, and you're done. Turn everything back on. Let's turn the cladding back on now. And let me just turn that cladding back on while we go, and we're just about done. There's our cladding for our windows. I'll turn off these pieces here, hide that, and hide that, and there it is. So again, I haven't quite finished it off all around. Oops, sorry, I've still got the other window to put on. Need to put the other one back on. There it is. Okay. Okay. And there it is. That is how you do the capping material for the side windows. I hope that was of use. Again, I apologise for my Fusion 360 instructions. Not necessarily meant to be a Fusion 360 piece, but you get the idea. Hopefully if that was some help for you, feel free to leave some comments below. I'm more than happy to jump in where I can, and all the best with it. Have a great day. Bye for now.